And now, back to this that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good?
Today, we're diving into a significant story involving one of the most iconic and influential hip-hop artists, Nicki Minaj. This unfolding situation centers around serious allegations that have resulted in a lawsuit, the possibility of criminal charges, and widespread media coverage. In this video, we'll explore the claims, provide context, and detail everything we know so far. It's important to note that, as of this recording, these are just allegations, and Nicki Minaj is presumed innocent until proven otherwise in a court of law. Let's get into it. Here's what we know so far. According to reports initially shared by TMZ and later picked up by outlets like Variety, Nicki Minaj is facing a lawsuit from her manager, Garrett. He alleges that Minaj slapped him and threatened his career during an incident in 2024 following her concert at Detroit's Little Caesars Arena. The show was part of her much-anticipated Pink Friday 2 World Tour. While the alleged physical altercation is the main focus of the lawsuit, it also includes claims that Minaj caused him emotional distress and engaged in other actions that harmed him. What makes this even more noteworthy is that the Detroit police have reportedly submitted a request to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for a warrant. If the prosecutor's office determines there's enough evidence or probable cause, Minaj could face criminal charges. This development has understandably attracted significant public and media attention. Interestingly, the lawsuit itself was reportedly filed in Los Angeles Superior Court, not in Michigan where the alleged incident took place. While this may seem unexpected, it's fairly common for legal actions involving high-profile individuals, especially those residing or conducting business in California, to be handled in Los Angeles. According to Variety, a representative for Nicki Minaj declined to comment immediately. However, Minaj's attorney did respond to TMZ, dismissing the allegations as completely false and frivolous and expressing confidence that the lawsuit would ultimately be resolved in her favor. Maria Miller, a spokesperson for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, confirmed that her office is reviewing a warrant request related to this case. While this signifies that the legal process is moving forward, it doesn't necessarily mean charges will be filed. Prosecutors often receive such requests from law enforcement agencies and then conduct their own thorough evaluations before deciding whether to proceed. This process can take time, particularly in high-profile cases like this, where additional scrutiny is common. Now let's break down what the lawsuit alleges. According to TMZ's initial report, Garrett, one of Nicki Minaj's former managers, claims that Minaj verbally berated him, physically slapped him, and threatened to ruin his career. Garrett alleges this incident occurred backstage at Detroit's Little Caesars Arena on April 20th, immediately following Minaj's performance during her Pink Friday 2 World Tour. The lawsuit centers around a confrontation reportedly triggered by a dispute over prescription medications. According to the claims, Minaj became upset with Garrett after he allowed someone outside her trusted circle to pick up her prescription from a local pharmacy. Allegedly, Minaj shouted, "Are you, expletive, crazy having him pick up my prescription? You'll never amount to anything, I'll make sure of it," before striking Garrett with an open hand. The lawsuit states that the force of the slap was enough to knock Garrett's hat off his head. Garrett describes the incident as deeply distressing, claiming that he was so shaken he hid in a backstage bathroom for hours to avoid further confrontation with Minaj or her team. He also alleges that after the altercation he was left stranded in Detroit when the tour bus departed without him, a move he interpreted as either retaliation or gross negligence, leaving him in an unfamiliar city without resources. The lawsuit seeks damages for multiple claims, including assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. If these claims are substantiated, they could result in significant financial repercussions for Minaj, depending on the strength of the evidence and witness testimony presented in court. Such cases often hinge on key pieces of evidence like eyewitness accounts, possible surveillance footage, text messages, or other documentation that might corroborate Garrett's allegations.
You gotta be careful when you pick fights.
To put this in context, Nicki Minaj, born Annika Tanya Marriage Petty, has been a prominent figure in the music industry for over a decade. Known for her chart-topping hits, bold fashion, and outspoken personality, she's never shied away from public feuds or controversies. With a massive global fan base and a reputation as one of hip-hop's most influential artists, Minaj has built a career that thrives on attention and unapologetic self-expression. Her Pink Friday 2 World Tour marked a significant return to the stage, drawing huge crowds and media attention. Fans were especially eager for this tour, which followed the success of her original Pink Friday album in 2010, a project that cemented Minaj's status as a superstar with her distinctive style and performances. The sequel album and tour carried considerable anticipation, given the legacy of the original. Brandon Garrett's role as one of Minaj's managers highlights the complexities of artist-manager relationships, especially for high-profile stars. Managers oversee schedules, finances, promotions, and even personal logistics like coordinating medication pickups. On a demanding tour where every moment is meticulously planned, stress levels can soar, and minor mistakes can lead to significant friction. Backstage at major concerts, tensions often run high, especially if the artist perceives a task has been mishandled. In the lawsuit, Garrett describes the alleged disagreement over prescription medication as the spark that ignited the confrontation. This underscores how a minor oversight can escalate into a major dispute when tensions are already high. If the alleged slap occurred, it raises the question, was it an isolated incident or part of a broader behavioral pattern? This is precisely what a court might explore if the case goes to trial. Minaj's lawyer, however, has dismissed the claims as completely false and frivolous, suggesting the defense will argue that no slap occurred or that the events were exaggerated. They may also suggest Garrett's allegations are an attempt to gain attention or secure a financial settlement. It's important to remember that high-profile celebrities like Minaj are often targets for lawsuits, some legitimate and others opportunistic. Courts tend to scrutinize such cases carefully. However, the involvement of the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office adds a serious dimension. If criminal charges are filed based on sufficient evidence, the stakes for Minaj would rise significantly beyond civil litigation.
Run her company the same way and be the same way. Oh, evil. But Donald Trump, he gets to hang out with young and have 50 different wives and just be cool. Oh, Donald, we love you. Donald Trump.
Another key detail in this case is the alleged threat Minaj reportedly made. "You will never be anyone, I'll make sure of it." Such a statement could be viewed as an attempt to intimidate or misuse power. If proven true, it might support Garrett's claim of intentional infliction of emotional distress. Combined with allegations of physical violence, it could strengthen his lawsuit if events unfolded as he describes. Minaj's defense might focus on challenging Garrett's credibility. They could argue that if the alleged incident occurred, he would have reported it immediately to law enforcement or someone backstage. Questions about the presence of witnesses or the availability of surveillance footage from Little Caesars Arena could also play a significant role. While large venues typically have extensive security cameras, backstage coverage might be limited. The defense may also attempt to highlight Garrett's behavior or performance leading up to the incident. They could argue that negligence in his duties or conflicts with other staff members might cast doubt on his account. Establishing a pattern of problematic behavior could weaken the validity of his allegations. The lawsuit also alleges that Garrett was left stranded in Detroit as the tour bus moved on, which he claims was a punitive action by Minaj or her team. However, the defense might counter that Garrett simply failed to meet the bus on time. Tour schedules are tight, and timely departures are often critical. If Garrett missed the bus, the defense could argue it was his own responsibility. It's crucial to note that these are still allegations, and none have been proven in court. Minaj's team has strongly denied any wrongdoing. Garrett seeks damages for SA, battery, and emotional distress, but the legal process in Los Angeles could take months or even years, given pretrial motions, depositions, and potential media attention. The criminal case remains uncertain as the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office reviews the warrant request. Maria Miller's statement that the office is reviewing it is procedural and doesn't guarantee charges will be filed. However, if charges are brought, Minaj could face a far more serious legal battle involving potential hearings and a trial. What about the broader implications for Nicki Minaj's career? It's unclear how these allegations might affect her relationships with fans, sponsors, or the music industry. While some celebrities have faced similar accusations and continued thriving, high-profile legal issues can lead to negative publicity, missed opportunities, and personal stress that impacts professional performance. Minaj is known for publicly defending herself and has often clashed with others, including fellow artists and media personalities. If the allegations persist, it wouldn't be surprising if she or her legal team issued a detailed refutation. So far, her attorney has firmly denied the accusations, calling them false. In civil cases like this, settlements are possible. Confidential agreements often prevent the cost and publicity of a trial, but it's uncertain if that might happen here, especially given the potential criminal charges. While the civil lawsuit could be resolved financially, criminal allegations would need to go through the courts. For viewers, it's important to remember that this story is unfolding quickly. By the time you watch this, there could be new developments such as witness statements, additional filings, or decisions from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Legal matters involving global stars often move unpredictably.
Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carrie.
Name I won't say in case there's little kids watching the show because it's such
sit down. You're dismissed.
Now about Detroit's Little Caesars Arena, the venue where the alleged incident occurred. Opened in 2017, it's a major hub for concerts and sports events, with Detroit authorities holding jurisdiction over crimes committed there. The police deemed the manager's claims credible enough to forward them to prosecutors, which has led to the current review. April 20, 2024, was the date of Minaj's Detroit stop on her Pink Friday 2 World Tour, a high-energy event attended by thousands. Backstage during such large-scale concerts is typically chaotic, with managers, crew, performers, security, and VIPs all in close quarters. If witnesses were present, their accounts could be crucial to clarifying what happened. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office handles thousands of cases annually, so in a high-profile matter like this, they'll ensure ample evidence before proceeding. Body cam footage, police reports from the night in question, or recorded statements from the alleged victim could heavily influence their decision. They may also evaluate the credibility of those involved, past incidents, or other factors that could affect the case's believability. As for Brandon Garrett, details about his background are limited. Serving as Minaj's manager with responsibilities like handling prescription pickups suggests a close working relationship. Minaj's alleged frustration over the prescription pickup may hint at underlying trust issues or existing tensions. The open hand slap Garrett describes brings up questions about intent, reasonableness, and impact. Even a slap, though less severe than a punch, can legally qualify as battery if done without consent. Knocking off a hat could be minor battery or a sign of aggression, depending on context. If the claims are proven, damages for both physical and emotional harm could be assessed. Emotional distress cases hinge on showing that the conduct was extreme and caused significant suffering, something an aggressive act from a celebrity boss might satisfy. The lawsuit also alleges that Garrett was left stranded in Detroit after being excluded from the tour bus. This raises questions. Was it a deliberate act of retaliation, or simply a miscommunication amidst the post-show chaos? If intentional, it could strengthen claims of intimidation. If accidental, Minaj's team might argue it was a logistical mishap or that Garrett missed the scheduled departure.
You're gonna go down in history now as a sore loser, as opposed to going down in history as the queen.
Legal experts often highlight the need to differentiate between valid claims and potential exploitation of celebrity status for financial gain. However, what sets this case apart is the possibility of criminal charges. If prosecutors find sufficient evidence, Minaj could face penalties beyond monetary damages, such as probation or, less likely, jail time, especially if the charge is a misdemeanor and not more severe. Minaj's legal team has categorically denied the allegations, expressing confidence in her vindication as facts emerge. While this is a standard defense in celebrity lawsuits, it doesn't rule out the possibility of misunderstandings or exaggerations fueling the case. In the immediate term, this lawsuit is likely to dominate headlines, given Nicki Minaj's high-profile status and assertive public persona. Fans may split into defenders and skeptics, voicing their opinions across social media. Meanwhile, industry stakeholders like brand sponsors and concert promoters might adopt a cautious approach, waiting to see whether the lawsuit escalates or criminal charges are filed, as this could affect future opportunities. It's also worth noting that lawsuits sometimes prompt countersuits. Minaj's legal team might consider filing a defamation claim if they believe Garrett's allegations are both false and damaging to her reputation. For such a countersuit to succeed, they would need to demonstrate that Garrett acted with malicious intent. Whether Minaj chooses this path or focuses solely on defending against the current claims remains to be seen. Nicki Minaj's active presence on platforms like Twitter and Instagram raises another question. Will she address these allegations publicly? Many legal advisors discourage public commentary during litigation, as statements can complicate defense strategies or be used in court. However, given Minaj's history of engaging directly with her fans, it wouldn't be surprising if she eventually comments, perhaps to reassure supporters of her innocence or to downplay the lawsuit as an occupational hazard of fame.
I think people get me mistaken with like a real Barbie.
As you can see, this situation is complex and likely to evolve further in the weeks and months ahead. Legal cases like this often expand as depositions, witness accounts, and evidence such as text messages or footage come to light, giving both sides the opportunity to build their narratives. At this point, it's important to stress that Nicki Minaj has not been charged with a crime. The warrant request is a standard procedural step, indicating law enforcement believes there may be grounds for a case. However, it's ultimately up to the prosecutor to determine whether sufficient evidence exists to proceed. If they find no probable cause, the case could be dismissed at this stage. Conversely, if charges are filed, Minaj would be formally notified and required to respond in court. More broadly, this lawsuit sheds light on the intricate dynamics of the entertainment industry. Managers and support staff often juggle intense demands from artists, balancing high-pressure schedules with personal tensions. While conflicts can sometimes escalate under these conditions, any claim involving physical violence, if proven, goes far beyond typical workplace disputes and would carry serious implications. Both sides will undoubtedly present their interpretations of events, leaving the legal system to untangle the truth. Nicki Minaj has faced her share of controversies in the past, though allegations of this nature, specifically physical SA against a staff member, mark a new level of seriousness. While she's been involved in public feuds and heated exchanges that captured headlines, this situation is different, carrying potential legal and criminal implications. For fans, these allegations can be challenging to reconcile with the artist whose music and persona they've long admired. However, the entertainment industry has seen cases where such claims were later disproven or resolved without significant harm to the artist's career. As this story unfolds, further details may emerge through court documents, witness accounts, or even video evidence. If witnesses from the backstage area on April 20th come forward to corroborate or refute Garrett's claims, it could significantly impact the case. Additionally, any existing surveillance footage from the venue could play a crucial role, depending on the areas under surveillance and what was captured. For now, the lawsuit and potential charges remain allegations, with no criminal charges currently filed. We'll continue to monitor developments closely, as the case is likely to remain a topic of public interest given Minaj's prominence in the music world. As more facts come to light, a clearer understanding of what happened may emerge. We encourage everyone to approach this story thoughtfully. Allegations and lawsuits in the entertainment industry can often be sensationalized, but it's equally important to take claims seriously while respecting the principle of due process. Striking a balance between skepticism and empathy is essential when following cases like this in the media. To summarize, Nicki Minaj faces allegations of SA, battery, and emotional distress involving her manager, Brandon Garrett, stemming from a backstage incident during her Pink Friday 2 World Tour in Detroit. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is reviewing a warrant request that could lead to criminal charges. Minaj's legal team has strongly denied the accusations, calling them false and frivolous, and remains confident they will be dismissed. This case will likely unfold over months, whether through settlements, negotiations, or possibly a trial. Thank you for joining us for this detailed exploration of the claims surrounding Nicki Minaj. If you found this informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay updated with the latest entertainment news. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you balanced updates as new developments emerge. Stay informed and we'll see you next time.